The wind clawed across the Alaskan wilderness like a living warning, but Maya Torres kept driving her aging Ford F-150 deeper into the freezing whiteout. The road ahead had vanished beneath a roaring curtain of snow, yet she pushed forward as if something unseen were pulling her toward the heart of the storm. In the back seat, her 7-year-old daughter, Sophia, slept with her stuffed bear tucked beneath her chin, trusting her mother in a way that only a child could. Maya clung to that trust like a lifeline. She'd spent years scraping by as a general contractor in Anchorage, taking every job she could just to keep a roof over their heads. But life had never stopped swinging at her, leaving her exhausted, broke, and feeling as if the world had quietly decided she'd had enough chances. When the listing for a unique Earth-integrated structure appeared online, 12 acres, a hidden dwelling, starting bid $200, she felt something shift inside her. She didn't know whether it was desperation or destiny, but she placed her bid anyway. Now, after winning the property for $900, she was chasing the promise of a new start, praying the gamble would save her little girl from the instability that had become their normal. As she turned onto a narrow path barely visible beneath the snowdrifts, she finally saw it, a crooked mailbox, the number frozen in fading paint. Beyond it lay the place locals whispered about, the Hobbit house, the cursed one, the one waiting for her. The house emerged slowly, like a forgotten memory rising from the snow-covered hillside. Its round door, green, weather-beaten, almost mythical, sat beneath a dome of earth and ice that made the structure look grown rather than built. Sophia pressed her mittened hands against the truck window and whispered, "Mama, it looks like a fairy house." Maya didn't answer. Her throat was too tight, her mind too busy wrestling with doubt. Could she really raise her daughter in a place like this? Could she rebuild her life inside a structure townsfolk claimed was abandoned for a reason? Still, something about the house felt strangely inviting, as if it had been waiting decades just for her. She stepped out into the brutal cold, her boots sinking into knee-deep snow as she helped Sophia out of the truck. The key, heavy iron, ancient, fit the lock too smoothly, and the door swung open with a sigh that echoed through the hollow interior. The warm glow of her phone's flashlight revealed a single curved room built with impossible craftsmanship. Carved earth walls, timber beams like the ribs of a giant animal, shelves filled with untouched objects, a table carved from a single slab of wood. As she lit a propane lantern she'd found, the shadows retreated to reveal intricate carvings dancing across the walls, symbols, patterns, and shapes that felt older than the land itself. Sophia gasped, "Mama, it's magic." And in that moment, for the first time in years, Maya dared to believe her daughter might be right. The first night in the house was both peaceful and unsettling. After lighting the wood stove and warming leftover soup, Maya watched as Sophia curled up by the fire, her small body wrapped in blankets that smelled faintly of cedar. The blizzard raged outside, but inside the world felt anchored, safe in a way Maya hadn't expected from a place so isolated. Yet something tugged at her conscience. The auction had been too quick, too smooth, the paperwork too thin, the eagerness of the sellers too suspicious. Still, exhaustion won, and she tried to settle in for the night. But just as she crossed the room to join her daughter, her foot caught on something beneath the dust-covered rug. She froze. Kneeling down, she brushed away years of debris to reveal a perfect rectangular seam etched into the stone floor. A hidden hatch. Her heartbeat thudded in her throat as curiosity overcame caution. She pressed a small stone nearby, accidentally at first, then deliberately. A soft click answered her, followed by the grinding of stone as the hatch lifted slightly, releasing a cold breath of air that didn't belong to the room. The lantern flickered as if in warning. Logic screamed for her to close it fast, pretend she'd never found it. But life had taught Maya that fear never led anywhere worth going. With trembling hands, she pulled the stone slab open and stared into the darkness of a staircase carved deep into the earth, descending far beyond anything she imagined existed beneath her $900 miracle. The stairs swallowed her lantern light as she descended, each step colder than the last. The air smelled of ancient stone, untouched time, and secrets too heavy to rise to the surface. The deeper she went, the more she sensed the presence of someone who had walked these steps long before her. Someone deliberate, careful, determined. When she finally reached the chamber at the bottom, the lantern's glow revealed something that made her knees buckle. Rows of glass cases, wooden crates, artifacts glinting like trapped stars. Masks, swords, jade carvings, golden headdresses, objects spanning continents and centuries, preserved with impossible precision. It looked like a museum built by a single pair of obsessed hands. On a stone desk rested a leather journal worn from years of use. Inside, written in ink that had aged to a smoky brown, was a message addressed to whoever found the chamber. If you're reading this, I am gone. And now the responsibility is yours. The signature belonged to Dr. Harrison Cole, a brilliant archaeologist who vanished after being accused of stealing priceless artifacts in the 1970s. But as Maya turned the pages, she saw the truth. He hadn't stolen anything. He'd rescued pieces destined for destruction, corruption, or private vaults never meant to see daylight. His final words warned that powerful people had killed to keep his discoveries quiet. And by opening that hatch, Maya had inherited everything they feared. From that moment, survival became more than a necessity. It became her duty. The next days blurred into routine as she cataloged piece after piece in the chamber below, each item carefully labeled in Cole's meticulous handwriting. She recognized civilizations only from textbooks: Incan, Mayan, Polynesian, Viking, indigenous Alaskan. Many pieces contradicted accepted history completely. Some suggested global connections centuries before textbooks claimed any civilized contact existed. Some revealed technological sophistication modern scholars insisted ancient societies couldn't have possessed. Sophia played in the snow above while Maya worked beneath the earth, her lantern flickering over secrets worth more than she could fathom. And as she read deeper into Cole's journals, she uncovered the reality he'd died protecting. Governments, museums, and wealthy collectors had spent decades burying discoveries that challenged the narrative they preferred the world to believe. He had refused their bribes, threats, and offers of pardon. They had waited for him to die, certain his secrets would die with him, but fate had chosen a different path. Maya, a single mother scraping together every dollar, now stood where a world-renowned archaeologist had fallen. And she understood the danger instantly. If anyone discovered what lay beneath her house, they'd come for it, and for her. The responsibility weighed on her chest like a stone. She needed help, someone trustworthy, someone who understood the stakes. That someone turned out to be Dr. Alina Vance, an archaeologist who had once studied under Harrison Cole. When Maya showed her the photographs, Alina's breath caught as if she were staring at ghosts she'd long mourned. She came at once, descending the hidden stairs with reverence, her eyes filling with tears as she recognized pieces the academic world believed destroyed. But all quickly turned to fear. "If word of this gets out," she whispered, "the people who silenced Harrison won't hesitate to come for you." Maya didn't need convincing, trouble had already arrived. Cars lingering at the end of the driveway, strangers knocking with suspicious smiles, offers that seemed too generous and threats that were barely disguised. Then came the night men broke into the house, overturning furniture and ripping apart floorboards as they searched for the chamber. Only luck or fate kept them from finding the hatch. After that, Maya couldn't pretend she was safe. Alina called in reinforcements, Joseph and Ruth from the local indigenous community, Diane, a documentary archivist, Marcus, a heavily trained former security contractor. They formed a circle around Maya and Sophia, creating a shield of living bodies between them and the storm gathering outside. Together, they fortified the property, digitized the collection, and prepared for the inevitable. The world was coming for what Harrison had preserved, and it would not come kindly. The attack came not with violence but temptation. In a grocery store parking lot, a woman named Victoria Ashford approached Maya with a smile polished enough to hide the knife behind it. She offered $20 million for the entire collection, cash, no questions asked. Enough money to give Sophia a safe life far from danger, far from Alaska, far from everything. Maya refused, her voice firm even as her hands trembled. Victoria's smile vanished, replaced by a cold warning that chilled Maya more than any blizzard. "My clients aren't accustomed to hearing no," she said quietly, "and children are vulnerable." The threat was unmistakable. Back at the house, the team read Harrison's final journal entries. He had faced the same people, an organized force operating in shadows, funded by governments, collectors, and institutions terrified of history being rewritten. They had offered him everything, then tried to take everything when he refused. His cancer took his life before they could. Maya realized she was standing at the exact crossroads he'd died defending. She could give in, run, take the money, and disappear. Or she could stand her ground, protect the truth, and accept the danger that came with it. For the first time, she didn't feel like a struggling contractor or a desperate mother. She felt like the guardian Harrison believed would come. And she wasn't alone anymore. That night, as the fire crackled and the wind howled against the round door, Maya watched Sophia sleep beneath layers of handmade quilts, her small breaths filling the room with innocence Maya was determined to protect. The house no longer felt like a burden. It felt alive, ancient, purposeful, as though it recognized her choice. She understood now why the land had waited for her, why the auction had been arranged, why the elders called this place the Keeper's Lodge. History didn't choose scholars or governments. It chose people willing to defend truth no matter the cost. Sitting by the fire, Maya realized she had been building homes her entire adult life,